Hey guys, so in the last episode, Master Shenzhou, with his wisdom and unwavering trust, bestowed upon Raarh a sacred scroll of resurrection, believing in the strength of bonds and unity among you to reveal its secrets when the crucial time arrives. This revelation ignited a flicker of hope within the group, a potential chance to bring Celestia back to the world of the living. Seizing this newfound hope, Tronald decided to employ the scrying crystal, a gift from charismatic Asmo, to peer into the whereabouts and intentions of any individual. Surprisingly, the crystal unveiled the visions with an ease that was unsettling. Considering the immense power and formidable magical prowess of Vuel experienced before, this effortless peek raises a shadow of suspicion, a whispering thought that maybe, just maybe, he willingly opened the doors, allowing you to witness aspects of his plans. So what do you want to do?
All right, well, I want to take a second to discuss what just happened. The clarity I had through that crystal, it was unexpected. I was fully prepared for it to be a dead end, a futile attempt given the substantial barriers we're trying to breach. Yet the images were clear. It was as if Vuel wanted me to see, wanted us to witness something, and that's made me incredibly nervous. Knowing that he is a devil only amplifies my suspicions. Everyone knows the stories about devils. They're master schemers, clever and crafty, known for their deceitful ploys to ensnare even the most vigilant souls into their cunningly devised contracts. It feels like he's orchestrating a complex game, like he's luring us into a maze of deceit.
Then it doesn't make sense that he would reveal to you that he is a devil, would it? If he wanted you to follow a trail of breadcrumbs that he left for you in whatever you saw, why would he try and make you even more suspicious by revealing his true form? I'm going to need you to tell me exactly what you saw, Tronald.
I tell them everything, Joe.
All right, so by my count, there's 4 points that we need to address. Number 1, I have left the body in the eye of the storm. What does that mean? Number 2, he addressed that Cass has been revived. Number 3, there seemed to be 6 people he was talking to. Who are they? And how powerful are they compared to Vuel? Well, we know the answer to some degree. The fact that Vuel tasked one of them with bringing Cass to him as nonchalantly as if he was requesting him to collect a puppy from a shop. And finally, number 4, why reveal to you that he's a devil?
I can't pretend as if I have the answers to any of what you're asking, but to be honest, I don't care about any of them right now. That is, aside from one. I have left the body in the eye of the storm. I don't know why, but I feel like he was talking about Celestia, but that doesn't make sense. Why would he leave her body in a fucking storm?
You've spoken of him being of devilkin, correct? From the scripts which I've had the privilege to study, it is depicted time and again that devils have a certain fondness for enigma and cryptic phraseology. They often wrap their true intents in layers of mystique and allegory. Perhaps this mention of the eye of the storm isn't as literal as it seems, but rather a metaphorical veil.
That's a good point. And whatever it is, it's quite possible it has been phrased in a way that could only make sense to you, Tronald. If he is speaking directly to you, that is. We're still making a lot of assumptions with that.
What could it mean? For the life of me, I cannot think.
I'm not certain of its relevance, but I remember stories that my father used to tell me about great battles. He spoke of the supreme battalion of Auroros, the creme de la creme of warriors and mages, specialists in their fields, the sovereign's own brigade. They were often dubbed the Storm by their adversaries. I know that it's a bit of a long shot, but could there be a connection?
Huh. You know what? I think you might be onto something. I mean, think about it. When Vuel was talking to us yesterday, he kept bringing up how this world was rotten and corrupt. So, if he is trying to show you something, I bet it has something to do with some kind of corruption within Auroros. And I bet he's using Celestia's body to force your hand into unveiling it for yourself.
But why bother? Why waste so much time meeting with us, killing Celestia, hiding her body? All for the sake of what? Showing me some corruption? What's the point?
From what you've told me about that incident, it sounds like he needs you on side for whatever it is he has planned. I don't know why or for what reason, but he certainly does need you. Otherwise, like you say, why bother?
Joe, I fill Alexandrew in on the whole Lord Tanavir situation.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, that just adds to my point. If you were some god-tier arcane user, then maybe, even with all his power, both through blood and the arcane, there has to be something that you can do, which he cannot.
Trust me, there's nothing I can do which he can't.
Well, maybe not this you, but certainly Lord Tanavir, right?
Maybe, who knows? Anyway, for the sake of it, let's just say that Raarh's guess is correct. What could the eye mean?
It's hard to pin down what the eye could symbolize. It could be a geographical landmark, cloaked in the annals of history, or a relic of formidable power, forgotten by time. It might also represent a concept, philosophical or metaphysical, maybe even an esoteric organization orchestrating events from the shadows. It could symbolize myriad entities or ideas. The profundities are nearly inexhaustible.
Right, well, that was all incredibly wordy, but if this Visurial was speaking directly to Tronald, I feel like the answer will come to you. You just have to think.
Yeah, rather than incredibly complicated, what if it's extremely obvious instead?
Maybe. I have an idea. So, your eyes are what you used to see with, right?
I really hope that's just the start of your idea and not the conclusion. But yes, your eyes give you vision.
Exactly. The eye of the storm, the eye of Auroros, the vision of Auroros. Who holds the vision for a continent? The ruler. The eye of the storm means the emperor of Auroros.
So you think that he just dumped Celestia's body on the lap of the current emperor? Like, hey, here you go. This guy will be coming along at some point to uncover some corruption and revive his friend. That doesn't make sense.
Why does it have to be the current emperor?
Exactly. He's probably given it to the previous emperor.
You mean the one that's dead, right?
Of course, it all clicks into place. Emperor Valerius, he's the one who elevated Lord Tanavir from obscurity to become the Empire's right hand. That must be where we'll find Celestia.
Oh, wonderful. So your grand plan is to simply stroll to the former emperor's final resting place, disturb his eternal slumber, and with a bit of luck, stumble upon Celestia there as well.
Yep, that about sums it up.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it all sounds quite promising, minus the chance of us being caught and killed.
I'd say the chance of us being caught and killed makes it a little less appealing than how you're selling it.
Yeah, well, everyone here is willing to take a small chance of that happening to bring Celestia back. The question is, Alexandrew, are you?
Would you be surprised if I said no?
I'd be a little bit hurt by it, yeah.
I've known you for less than a day. Why would I risk my life on a half-cocked plan?
Because Master Shenzhou told you that you should come with us to find the darkness that's clouding his visions.
Yes, he instructed me to join you, hinting at a premonition that our destinies might be intertwined, when in truth there were no mysteries shrouding his insights. He simply didn't want to burden you with his pain. He's on borrowed time, you see, his days drawing to a close with every sunset, perhaps just a few weeks remaining. There's a relentless horde of goblins encroaching upon us, persistently testing our defenses, thirsting to lay siege to our sanctuary. But each time, Master Shenzhou's presence has been the barrier between us and them. My heart dreads the inevitability that without his shielding spirit, their next assault might mark the fall of our sacred refuge. Master Shenzhou, with his boundless compassion and humility, would never invoke the aid of strangers. He would rather bear the weight of the world than impose it upon another soul. However, my resolve is not so noble. With a selfish heart, I implore you to stand with me against these creatures so that when the sands of time run out for my master, he may embrace eternity and solace untroubled by looming shadows.
I've known you less than a day. Why would I risk my life on a half-cocked plan?
You're right. It's not fair of me to ask, and you have no obligation to agree, but
We're in. All our journeys, our battles, they've been filled with half-cocked, spur-of-the-moment decisions, one of which lead us to your temple, to you and your noble master. You stepped in at our direst moment, asking for nothing in return and giving us the means to bring our sister back to us. Before today, I never knew a group of people could be so kind, so selfless. You've more than earned our trust and our aid. So if this is your selfish request, I say yes, let's track down this horde and ensure one way or another they'll never be a threat to you again.
thank you.
I'm all for kicking some goblin arse, but I do have one question. Why can't you deal with them yourselves? Even without Master Shenzhou, you all seemed pretty fucking jacked. For humans, anyway.
It's because my brethren, my kin, my father, they tread the noble path of enlightenment, the path bathed in celestial light, of serene harmony. They're bound to principles of nonviolence and tranquility. I've always been the outlier, my soul tinged with shadows, an anomaly in a sanctuary of peace. My entire existence, I've wrestled with my internal tempest to walk in serenity's footsteps. Yet Master Shenzhou, he saw through my turmoil and embraced my darkness when he took me under his protective wing. There must be a reason, an orchestration in why he let me plead for your sanctuary within these sacred walls. When the purest of lights are obstructed, they birth shadows, and the more brilliant the light, the more profound the shadows it casts. I am destined to be the concealed darkness, the silent guardian to shield my kin. Where they hold back, I will strike. Where they show mercy, I will deliver the final blow. I'm willing to sacrifice my own soul's sanctity, to become the phantom in the shadows for their protection.
Wait, so you were the reason why we were let inside?
Indeed, I implored them to grant you entry. They resisted. I beseeched them with every ounce of my being. Master Shenzhou finally consented, but with a single stipulation. If an assault came, they would stand passive, leaving me isolated in the fray. And should we fall, the weight of our temple's demise would rest squarely on my shoulders. Yet, in spite of that burden, I continued to plea for the gates to be opened.
Then it seems like we owe you even more than we originally thought, Alexandrew.
You are in debt to me for nothing. The path I chose was walked freely, with no expectations trailing behind. I wouldn't be sincere if I didn't harbor a sliver of hope that the winds would guide us this way. The moment Master Shenzhou granted his permission, encouraging me to join your journey, it was like being embraced by a warmth I had never known. He perceived the unspoken necessity of the deeds to come, and though his spirit couldn't follow into this endeavor, he gifted me the sanction my soul craved to chase it.
So I guess the only thing to ask is this. How strong is the force we are about to face?
They number around 100, accompanied by creatures of terror and engines of destruction. It will be incredibly dangerous, maybe even downright suicidal. Are you sure you wish to do this with me?
Certainty of death. Small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Then we must prepare, for we have no healer. Alexandrew, do you have any storage where we can load up on any potions or supplies?
Of course, I will go retrieve the bread and water. I'm just fucking with you, big guy. Follow me, I will take you to the supply room. We will gather what we need, then we will begin our journey. Joe, I take everyone to the supply room.
All right, as you stride forth from the quarters where you rested, your path meanders through the venerable sanctuary. The stone passages whisper tales of yore, and the walls, saturated with the divine resonance of the monastery, reverberate softly with the murmurs of ancient mantras. Soft, warm light plays with the shadows as tranquility embraces every alcove and stair. The air is imbued with a serene energy, reverberating with the echoes of countless whispered prayers. Upon reaching the storeroom, a realm of myriad supplies and sacred artifacts, you witness a flurry of activity within. The domain is congested with satchels of herbs, vials of arcane liquids, and ancient relics, each nested in its designated sanctuary. A halfling monk, enveloped in the traditional robes of the monastery, seems absorbed in the delicate dance of arranging and shelving the treasures of this alcove. His diminutive stature is underscored by a broad, peaceful smile and eyes radiating ageless wisdom, seemingly paradoxical to his youthful, sprightly demeanor. The flickering lights paint his countenance with an array of shadows, revealing the lines of a life devoted to spiritual ascension and divine service. The air around him seems to shimmer with a subtle, benign energy as he moves with a grace born of a harmonious union with the energies of the universe. Alexandrew, it's good to see you, my brother. May I request that you reach to the top shelf for me? I seem to be unable to grasp the potatoes.
What? There's been taters here this whole time?
I mean, yeah, we don't just survive off bread and water.
Then why didn't you share them?
Look, it was just an easy go-to. We batch cooked the midday meal, our only meal of the day. You missed that meal, so you got bread and water.
Well, I guess I can understand that.
Joe, I reach up to the top shelf and get a basket of potatoes down for the halfling, then I pluck one out and throw it gently towards Raarh. There you go, man.
Joe, I catch it in my mouth and swallow it whole.
I don't know if you'll be able to do that, dude. I mean, it's a pretty fucking big potato.
Don't you dare question my methods.
Right, fuck it. Whatever, dude. Roll me a strength check to see if you can force the spud down your gullet.
Well, that's an 8 total, Joe.
All right, so Raarh's now in the process of choking to death.
Oh my God, somebody do something. Saxy, give him CPR.
How the fuck is CPR meant to get a potato out of his throat?
Well, somebody needs to do something and fast. He's turning greener.
Ugh, Joe, I activate my armor and give Raarh a power punch in the stomach.
Roll for attack, Saxy.
That's an 11 to hit.
Saxy, with a flicker and a whirl, you summon forth your armor. Its machinations embrace your form, preparing to unleash a torrent of mechanized power. You reel back, and with the precision of a hawk and the power of a speeding chariot, your fist hurtles towards Raarh's midriff. But, oh, fate and fortune do toy with the best of us. Raarh, in his frantic flails and jives, pirouettes away from the incoming storm of metal and power, transforming your aimed assault into a spectacle of dance. So instead of connecting with your gyrating comrade, your fist embarks on a merry collision course with a humble basket of straw. The ensuing impact transforms the once serene basket into a flying frenzy of straw and, of all things, salted fish. The basket bursts and a rain of piscatorial delights showers the room, each fish a soaring testament to your mechanical prowess. The air becomes a symphony of flapping fins and rustling straw, a dance of the sea amidst the terrestrial.
Seems like I have no choice. Joe, I cast Fireball.
Joe, I sprint towards Raarh, aiming a punch directly in his stomach, immediately following it with a flurry of blows. Each hit lands slightly above the previous one, expelling every ounce of air from his abdomen and propelling the lodged potato from his throat.
Give me 3 attack rolls, Alexandrew.
That's a 17, a 15, and a 19.
Good enough. With each decisive strike, the rogue potato is launched from his mouth with the velocity of a fired cannonball, zeroing in on the halfling. The halfling, with agility and flair reminiscent of an acrobat, deploys his deflect missiles ability, seizing the airborne tuber with a single hand. However, the robust propulsion of the potato sweeps him into an involuntary pirouette, spinning him around in a grandiose display before he recovers, landing in an overly dramatic, almost theatrical defensive pose.
Jesus Christ, man. Can we take you anywhere?
Hey, you was the one who destroyed the barrel of fish, so don't go blaming him for this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like you wasn't just about to cast a fucking fireball to dislodge a goddamn potato from his throat.
What can I say? I thought fast. Luckily, Alexandrew thought faster, and I didn't have to resort to such extremities.
Raarh, what do you have to say for yourself?
You've been hiding fucking fish too.
Right, and that's the takeaway from this.
It's at this point the halfling can't help but release a chuckle. It appears this storeroom is embracing a tad too much pandemonium for my taste. I'll return subsequently. Alexandrew, do me the courtesy of tidying up post your escapades, or you can bid farewell to your share of the fish and potato stew later.
What? Why are you blaming me for this?
And with a playful shake of his head, he makes his exit.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Bate. I'll just have your share of the stew.
Ha! That sounded an awful lot like you called him masturbate.
You'll do no such thing. We're not stopping around for any godforsaken stew. We're getting the supplies we need, then we're heading out.
Also, stop cutting me off. I'm not Saxy.
What do you mean you're not Sax?
Joe, I want to grab some food for the journey.
Right.
And as many health potions as I can without deteriorating the supply too much.
Navigating through the storeroom, your footsteps tread lightly among the jumbled mishmash of straw and salted fish. Your hands, practiced and efficient, begin to sort through the available supplies, delicately packing satchels with a mindful blend of provisions, while also rescuing the fish from their scattered plight, placing them back into containment, salvaging what you can. As you mindfully select items, you estimate that each satchel will grant about 3 days of sustenance for the entirety of your group, amounting to a comforting 9 days of provisions at hand. Progressing to an all-too-familiar crate, your memory guides your expectations toward its healing contents. Upon prying it open, 5 vials, swirling with a vibrant red, confirm your recollections. These are healing potions which lay before you, ready to be chosen. How many do you wish to take?
I'll take 3, Joe. Leaving 2 here should be enough until I return, then I can restock them.
You sure you don't want to take 4? I mean, there's 4 of us.
No, I shall leave 2 behind. In the event that Master Shenzu's condition unexpectedly declines, I willingly forsake my share to ensure there's a safeguard for his well-being. I value his comfort more than my own.
Okay, well, if that's everything, I guess we should begin making our way out of here. And to... Where exactly is this goblin horde located?
How the hell am I supposed to know? I mean, we've only ever been approached by them.
Well, I suppose a horde of goblins will be hard to miss.
Let's do this, guys.
The muted echoes of your footsteps cascade through the grandeur of the storeroom as you all, bags thoughtfully packed, ready yourselves for the looming journey. Carefully, you make your way out of the sacred temple. As the heavy doors creak open, a sea of warm, ambient light greets you, casting an almost ethereal glow upon the serene faces of the monks. They are all there, arranged in a dignified congregation along the majestic stone staircase, their garments whispering secrets to the floor with each subtle movement. Their heads lower, bowing with a reverence that speaks volumes more than words could capture, forming a corridor of respect and heartfelt farewells down the entirety of the stairway. With each step downwards, the weight of their silent goodbyes seeps into your souls, the realization that this could be the last exchange you share etching itself into the moment. The undulating gratitude, the unspoken bonds formed in brief encounters, all manifesting in the graceful dips of their heads, conveying a million unspoken words and well wishes. As you descend to the bottom of the staircase, an atmosphere of solemn respect envelops you all. Master Shenzu awaits. His gentle smile, a beacon of tranquility and resilience, emanates a soothing, albeit poignant, reassurance. His peaceful shelled form slowly approaches, each step a testament to a lifetime of wisdom and strength. His eyes meet yours, Alexandrew, and in that moment, unspoken understanding passes between master and student, acknowledging not just the physical journey that lies ahead, but the spiritual one as well.
Alexandrew, your bravery glows like a steadfast flame in the darkness. Throughout our shared journey, despite the wisdom I have imparted upon you, your essence has remained unswayed, and truthfully, it is not my place nor intention to alter it, for within you resides the spirit of a guardian, unyielding and resolute. Remember this, dear pupil, as you traverse the unpredictable paths of life. You will encounter moments, crucibles of moral dilemma where those meriting death might find an unexpected yet just path toward life. And equally, there will stand those who, while desperately clutching to life, might indeed find their rightful peace in the release of death. May your heart guide your actions, crafting justice from compassion and strength from understanding as you navigate these complex junctures.
It's at this point Master Shenzhou, despite his tranquil demeanor, succumbs to a torrent of wrenching coughs. He stumbles, landing heavily on one knee, as an unsettling silence blankets the scene, the gravity of his weakening condition laying bare and unmasked.
I run up to him, Joe, catching him before he falls any further. I rest my head against his as I say, I will ensure that our sanctuary is kept safe, my master. This I promise you with every fiber of my being.
He lifts his gaze, and within his eyes pools of emotion cascade, not forged from sorrow, but rather brimming with an immense, boundless pride.
I know you will, my boy. But please, you must not do this at the expense of your own life. You must return home safely.
I grip his hand tightly as I look into his eyes and say, I will return to see you, my master. I will be there to walk the final path with you, my master. I will be forever grateful for everything you have done for me, my mast. I will be forever grateful for everything you have done for me, my father. I love you.
And that is where we will pick up next session. See you later, guys.